Hi, this is Seth Whitehead, and we're happy to be joined today by Travis Thompson of Travis Thompson Oil Corporation, which is headquartered in Mount Carmel. In addition to operating his own E&P business, Travis is president of the Illinois Young Professionals. Travis, thanks for joining us today.
Well, Seth, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
First off, can you talk a little bit about the Illinois Young Professionals group and the goals of the group and how this group came about?
I'm not the co-founder. I recently just became president here at the beginning of the year. The co-founders was Ryan Peach, Joe Engelbrett, Courtney Timbarge, Eric Briggs, and Seth Ricketts. They called upon me about joining up and asking me if I'd be the president, and I thought it was an opportunity to do something good, and I took it on. Our motivation for the group is to connect the younger generation with the older generation. And one thing I want to say is there's a big misconception about this club. A lot of people think, since it says young professionals, that it's only for young generation. Actually, that's entirely incorrect. It's for anyone that wants to come. So that's been one of my big messages since I've got involved, is to try to get the older generation to come to our meetings and get involved. Because there's a lot of knowledge there that's going to retire soon and be lost if we don't gather that knowledge. Our meetings right now, we've been doing some lunch and learns where we go for about an hour. We meet up and we have a short little presentation with somebody, and we talk about some little thing, and then we eat and talk and we go on. It's a short little deal, but I think it's a good thing. We got one coming up next week, actually, March, 27th at Gotti's in Carmi. So we're looking forward to that. Nowco's going to be doing a little presentation, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Our first one we had back in, I think it was February, we had 18 people show up. So, but yeah, the common goal of the group is to get that younger generation that, doesn't entirely know how to network and who to talk to and get in there, opportunities to develop their skills, develop relationships, stuff like that. So which could lead to opportunities in business, jobs, various different things. So I'm excited about where we're going, and I think I got a good group behind me, so we got some good things planned in the future. So
we look forward to helping you spread the word about the group, and that's a big goal of IPRB, is to increase the lines of communication here in the Illinois Basin.
Yeah, we really appreciate that.
And like many in the Illinois Basin, your roots in the industry run deep. Can you talk about your background in the industry? And it's very much a family affair for you guys.
Yeah, it's entirely a family affair with us. I'm a third generation guy. My grandfather actually started out as a math teacher at Enfield, Illinois. And then in one of the booms in the 70s, I believe, he went to work for Texaco and worked his way up there, ended up becoming a petroleum engineer for Texaco. Well, at one point they decided they wanted to move him to Oklahoma. He decided to stay in the Basin here, and he went to work for Ram Oil Company out of Browns and worked there for several years. Then he ended up working for TriStar Producing, which is by Petro, ended up being by Petro. And then he went out on his own as being a consultant, and ended up with a few production wells and stuff like that. And then my father, he went to Lincoln Trail for a petroleum technology degree. And then after that, my grandfather convinced him to go out on his own. So he went out on his own and had some partners and different things. And through the ups and downs, eventually decided to go out on his own and be an independent. And that was the best decision he ever made. It's been a struggle, through the ups and downs of the oil industry. And I remember a lot of times when I was a kid, it was really tough. But we are doing really well now. And then in 2012, I started my own oil company, Travis Thompson Oil Corp. A lot of people ask me why I wanted my name in it. Well, I'm proud of it. I wanted my name on something, and I think my business is a reflection of myself. So, but yeah, I started that, and me and my father, we work co-in-hand together. I work for my father still, but I also work for myself. So everything's kind of coexisting together with our production.
Did you always know that you wanted to work in the oil industry? Was there ever any doubt?
Very little doubt. I started working due to necessity with my father when I was about 7, 8 years old. I remember tailing rods when I was 7 years old because the guy that we were supposed to have couldn't show up that day, had a problem or something, and we had to get the job done. And it's just been in my blood. Oil's something that I've always known. I love it. The everyday nitty gritty stuff. I get out there every day. I work. I get dirty basically every day. But then the next day I may be at the IOGA convention talking to somebody or something. I really enjoy this business, and it's basically all I've known. So to answer your question, no. I've never hardly had any doubt at all.
What do you think is the biggest misconception in the general public about the Illinois oil basin specifically that you would like to change?
Well, it's been said many times, but we're not big oil. We're farthest thing from that. I'm a small mom and pop operation here. We don't have millions of dollars to go out and do all these big projects and stuff. We do it out of our cash or income, and I would really like for people to understand that there's a lot of difference between the two, different types of entities.
Yeah, just to add on to what Travis is talking about, we ran an economic study of the basin a few years ago, and of the companies working here in the basin, about half of them are independent contractors, and another 45, almost 50, the other half almost is firms employing four employees or less. So it couldn't be any further from the sort of mental image of a giant publicly traded company operating somewhere in Texas.
We have one employee.
Yes. And that's typical of the basins.
Yeah, 1 to 5 employees, I would say, would be pretty typical.
Millennials, you're in your 20s.
Yep,
and
25.
the general perception of millennials. And it's needless to say, they aren't exactly the most prominent group in the oil industry or the Illinois oil industry. What would you like to communicate to the older folks who might view this about your generation?
That's a tough one, Seth.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. A lot of my generation is not willing to do the necessity work that we need to do in our industry here. And I see a big age gap coming up as far as people being willing to, do the necessary jobs that we need to do to produce oil here in the basin. It takes all kinds for this whole big operation to work in this industry. And if we don't have the people, which a lot of people are retiring, and it's just their time, and there's no one coming behind them, And as me being an up-and-coming operator and stuff, that's one of my biggest worries is who am I going to get to help do the things, because I can't do everything. Just basic things that we need to do as an industry to survive, and there's not going to be the people there. I'm worried. So my advice to the older generation, if you have some younger individuals in your industry, in your organization, take them under your wing a little bit, teach them some stuff. We need to know that. And that kind of goes back to that young professionals group that I'm involved in. That's the goal there, get the younger generation to learn the things that the older generation has learned, so we can continue, producing oil for 100 more years or whatever. Because without that knowledge, a lot of it's going to be hard to do. And I am definitely, if you can, take a younger individual under your wing, teach them what you know. It'll be well worth it in the end, I believe.
And what would you like to communicate to folks your age, folks out there and throughout southeastern Illinois or just anywhere?
Don't believe everything. Research stuff. Study, find out what all oil makes. Don't believe that we can live right now without oil. We need oil. I know you've posted numerous different things on the page, on your guys' page about all the different products that oil makes. It's in our everyday lives, even if you don't drive a car. I mean, it's in everything around us. It's in plastic, it's in toothpaste, it's in fertilizer for farming, it's in tires. I mean, your list goes on and on and on. It's in. I just challenged the younger generation in the Illinois Basin and in the country to make your own opinion. Just because someone's pushing a certain opinion on you, go out and study and educate yourself before you make an opinion.
And just to add on to what you're talking about, there isn't a serious analysis out there that doesn't not only project that we'll need oil, at least through 2050, but that oil demand will increase throughout the world. So those are the facts. We will continue to need oil and natural gas for many decades to come.
Yeah, I believe our demand every year is increasing by quite a bit. Our efficiency is getting better on cars and such things, but our demand is always increasing. So the energy's got to come from somewhere.
Yeah, there's a big world, and there's a lot of folks on the other side of the world that have been living in energy poverty, and
now they want to live like we do.
Exactly, and you can't blame them.
I don't either.
You seem very cognizant and aware of presenting a positive image of the industry. And why do you feel that is so important?
Well, first of all, it's my livelihood. Without oil, I don't have a livelihood. I'd have to change occupations, start a new career. So that's a number one motivator for me to help promote a positive image. So with regulators and stuff up in Springfield, that we stay around. There's a lot of them that would like to see us go, I believe.
Travis, you seem really cognizant of the importance of presenting a positive image of the oil industry, and specifically our local industry. Why do you feel that's so important?
Like I said, it's my livelihood. I just think it's very important to get to the general public that we are not trying to be non-environmentally friendly. In our particular operations, we build big firewalls. We try to do everything the best we can as far as leak containment, fixing things correctly so we don't have leaks. We try to go above and beyond when we build our facilities and stuff like that, so we don't have a problem there.
Contrary to kind of the media narrative and the general public understanding or belief, the industry is highly regulated both in Illinois and Indiana and throughout the country. But you've gone above and beyond, and I think that you see the importance of doing that as far as maintaining your facilities and whatnot. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, 2017, my company won the Facility of the Year for Indiana Oil and Gas Associations over at our Oatsville unit, northeast of Princeton. In that particular facility, we put all brand new tanks in. We built a big firewall that would hold, if every single tank was full to the brim, and they all exploded at once, it would hold all that plus rainwater. So, and actually we've built in some bigger firewalls since. I've got a couple 80 by 80 firewalls that are about 3 foot tall. I've got a 60 by 125 foot firewall that's 3 foot tall that holds about 4,000 barrels. Some people would say that's excess, but I have a leak, it's going to stay in the firewall. It's not going to get in the ditch, which gets the EPA involved, gets all these different entities involved, which causes problems with the environment. We keep it in a closed, contained state, and and also we fix these up nice, rock them. So when people drive by, they say, "Man, that's nice," and I think it's a very positive thing that we do that.
You're involved in so many things with the industry at such a young age. Is there anything beyond the industry that you're interested in and that the folks watching may want to know about Travis Thompson?
Yeah, I'm a bit passionate deer hunter. I love deer hunting. It's kind of my escape from the business world. Every fall you can find me on a weekend down at my hunting cabin, chasing a whitetail. I maybe be a little obsessed with it at times. I name my deer. I got, I have trail camera pictures of them. I name them, and then I'm after a certain one. And this past year, I ended up getting the deer I was looking for, and it was I'd been hunting that deer for 3 years. So that was pretty exciting. But yeah, I like to watch baseball. I played college baseball, but I work a lot. As Brad Gazelle says, there's just not a lot of time for free time. A lot of weeks I work 7 days a week doing something, and I have to. If I don't, I get farther behind. And Yeah, there's just not a lot of free time there. But when I do, I try to make the most of it and try to enjoy life a little bit, because what's life worth living if you can't have a little fun?
Well, Travis, I appreciate you being with us today. Travis is a young guy. There's a noticeable generation gap, but definitely if we don't have the quantity with the younger generation, you represent the quality that's coming up, and we really appreciate you taking some
Well,
of
I appreciate
today.
you having me. Thank you very much.